today's lecture, which is and the last lecture in collections. It will be on your comparator, your iterator, list iterator, and enumerator. So we have seen that we can store the elements, the entries in the collections, we can search them, we can retrieve them. But if I have to iterate in between the collections, or if I have to move previous or backward, then I need an iterator class. You have seen iterations in programming language before, your for loop. So similar iterations we can have in here, with which I can retrieve and move forward and backward with my collection. So these are the points which we are going to cover in today's session. So proceeding further, now let's see the first comparator. Now basically comparator. Now comparator, iterator, list iterator, enumerator are all interfaces which you need to implement in your class. So it is used to order the objects of a user-defined class. A comparator is capable of comparing two objects. So when I try to insert elements or entries in my collection, I can use the comparator. Then now in the examples which we were doing before this, we have seen the comparator. Right. So we have seen what is a comparator and how it works. So we will just try to understand it in more detail. So here the comparator interface will have two objects. So basically it will try to compare two elements, or it will try to equalize two elements or the objects which we say. So comparator interface will define two methods, and these are the two methods which now basically when I have to use the comparator, this is the syntax which I use, that is public int compare. Now why int? Now even if you try to compare two strings or two floats, your data type is going to be integer, because either the elements will be, or the two objects, one will be greater than the other, one will be equal to the other, one will be less than the other. So in that case, this particular, if first is greater than the object, it is going to return 1. If both are equal, it is going to return 2. If second one, then it is going to return -1. So basically the return value or the return type is going to be integer. So even if it is a string, the return type is always going to be integer. So the comparator, the return type is int, because it is just comparing the two elements or the two objects with each other. So OB1 and OB2. So we pass the two objects, and whatever is the result, it is going to return us here. And based on this return value, we are going to give a customized message to the user. So this is the concept of comparator. Now we will see the methods which we have seen, the compare and the equal. Now here we see obj1, that is object 1 and object 2 are compared, and the method returns 0 if both are equal. It returns positive if OB is greater than OB2, else return negative. So that's what I was trying to tell you. If 1 is greater than 2, it will return you +1. If both are equal, 0. If this is greater, it will return you -1. So compare method will have your int return type, and the method name is compare. Now second method which we have in the comparator is your equals method. Now equals method shown here test whether the object equals the invoking operator. That means in the equals method, you don't pass two objects, you just pass one object with which you want to compare the object which you are trying to retrieve. So equal method will just have one parameter. So obj is the object to be tested. So this is the object. Let's say suppose if I want to test if there are elements which are greater than 50. So here I'm going to pass 50, and then I pass this in my collection. So if the element in the collection is 20, it is going to compare it with 50. If it is with 60, it is comparing with 50. So this is the object, or this is the element with which we are trying to compare or equal the object in the collection. So here I'm just going to pass 1, and if it is equal, it is going to return true. If the element is not equal, it is going to return false. So your return type is Boolean here, right? The method returns true if the object and the invoking object are both comparator object and in the same ordering, else it is going to return false. So this is the equal method. So in the compare method, you are going to get the return type as int, method compare, and you're going to pass 2 objects, whereas in the equals method, your return type is Boolean and you're going to pass only 1 object which is going to be tested for equality. So these are the 2 methods we have in the comparator interface. Now look at the example here. Now you have already seen how do you add elements in the collections and how do you try to retrieve the displaying the collection. So here a similar example we have done, and this is going to be the output of it. Now what they are doing, again, if I want to have a collection, I need to have the util package, and then I'm going to create a class simple. Here I'm calling the main method. Now here in this collection, we are creating an array list. Now array list, you all know how do you create an array list. Array list of student A1 will be the array list. Now student is a class here, right? You know that in array list you pass the you pass the data type, right? So we had seen array list of integer, we have seen array list of string. So here I'm going to pass a class student. So if I have a class, I have a roll number, I have a name, and I have his marks, right? So this is the class which I'm going to create the array list. So I'm going to pass 3 parameters, right? So I pass 3 values, 101 Vijay 23, 106 Ajay 27, and so on. And then I'm going to sort it by the name. So I'm just going to give a print statement and then I try to sort it. So collection.sort, you know the sort method, and here I'm using this new comparator. Now again, comparator interfaces are there included in the util package. So all the methods and all the comparator interfaces, header files or everything will be included in the util package. So you can straight away use a comparator class. So sort method I use. Now what I need to sort? I need to sort the array list. I'm going to create a new comparator with the new name comparator, right? And now I am going to work through the student. So student ST is AI. So here AI will be a for loop and I am going to check each and every element in the objects. Now here I'm sorting with the names. So I'm going to call string dot so everything will be printed. So I'm going to print the roll number first, then the name and the age, right? So here I'm creating a comparator which will be on the name and name will be sorted. So a name comparator. Now same sorting of the collection I can do with the age. So here what I need to create, I need to create the new age comparator. So what happens in comparator? It tries to compare the first object with the second object with respect to the name. So if it finds it A and V, then it will print A first and then J first and so on. So it is trying to compare between OB1 and OB2 in case of name. But when it is in case of age, then I'm going to work on this age factor. So now if you check it out, sorting by name, this is the list, and sorting by age, this is going to be the list, and these are the elements which you have inserted. So this way you create the comparator. Fine. So this is the example of comparator. Now, second interface we have is the iterator. So when you do not want to compare anything or sort anything, you just are going to display the elements as it is, and you want the cursor to move forward, you want the cursor to move backward, and you want to display. And then you want to run the iteration. Still there are n number of elements in your collection. So in that cases, we have the iterator interface. Now, how does the iterator interface work? Your Java iterator interface of Java collections allows you to access the elements and retrieve through the elements. The elements can be stored in the collection like map, list, or set. So iterator will work on any of the collections which we have studied up till now. Now again, iterator help us in retrieving the elements of the collection and perform operations on each element. Iterator is a universal iterator, and as I said, it can be applied on each and every collection. We traverse forward during the direction using the iterator. Now, how do you iterate? How do you create an interface iterator? This is the declaration, public interface, and I call the iterator. And here I'm going to pass the object. So this is the syntax of it. Your class, your access verifier will be public and interface keyword and the iterator. So then once you have created the iterator, then you need to apply some methods on your iterator class so that you are able to move forward and check it out. And if a particular element you don't want, you can even remove it, and you can specify and display the elements using the iterator interface. So these are the methods of your iterator. The iterator interface gives you with 4 methods which can be used to perform operations on your elements in the collection. So first method is has next. Now again, look at the method name. This is a camel case, has and next. The next n will be capital. So has next, it will return true if there are elements in the collection. So let's say I don't know how many elements are there in the collection. If I want to check in how many elements are there, so if I say has next, so till there are elements in your iterator, this particular loop is going to run. So has next, if it returns true, it is going to print the element. If has next returns false, that means there are no more elements in your collection. The loop has to come out of the iterator. So this method is used to check the elements. So it returns true if there exists in the element in the collection. Then next, if there are elements, let's say I have got 20 elements in my collection and I start the iterator. I say has next, yes, there are elements. Then first element approved, then again I say next. If there is a next element, it will print that. If there is next element, so next method is used to print the next element, and the loop will run till the next. So has next returns the existing elements if there are in the collection. Next method, which is in small case, it returns or it retrieves the elements. It is going to print the element, right? And then remove. It will remove the last element returned by the next. So if I'm iterating, I come to the 5th element. I do not want the 5th element. I say remove. So it is going to remove the element which has been returned by the next element, right? And then for each remaining. So this particular method is used to perform specific action of each element, remaining element of the collection. So if I have come till next and then I say display it or remove it all the next elements. So I say for each remaining remove. So all the elements, let's say I want to remove the elements 31 to 40 from my collection. So I iterate till 30 and then I come till 31 and then say for each remaining elements remove those elements. So all the elements will be removed. So I don't have to go on 31, 32, 32 and so on. So whatever, wherever your cursor is on the iterator, or for each remaining it is going to remove, or for each remaining you want to display the element, then for each remaining you print the next method. Clear with this? So these are the 4 methods which you are given to you by the iterator. So let's see what is the iterator. Now we have already seen iterator has next. So this method returns true if the iterator has more elements which are remaining in the collection. The iterator has gone all over the elements, the method will return false. So if there are no elements, that means I am end of my collection. The iterator return false, and now the method knows that it has to come out of the iterator. The next method returns the next element, the iterator, and if there is no such element, that means it does not found any element, it throws the no such element exception, and then it will display the message no such element exists and it cannot display the element. Then remove method, it removes the underlying collection, the last element which is returned by the iterator. Right? And if the underlying collection is modified while the iterator is in progress in any other way, then the calling method iterator will show concurrent modification exception. That means I'm trying to modify, I'm trying to use the set method, and then I cannot remove that, so it is going to throw this exception. So when you're using the collections, you need to write the program by throwing the exception. You can throw all the exceptions together, like throws IO exception or throw exception class, and it is going to throw you all the exceptions which you encounter during your program. Or so basically, when I say concurrent modification exception, this will be thrown when we are trying to remove an element which is being modified. Then iterator for each remaining, this method performs the given action for each remaining element until all the elements have been processed or the action throws an exception. So till each an element is being displayed for all the remaining elements, this iterator is going to perform the action. Actions are performed in the order of the iteration, and if the order is specified. Now, if it does not iterate, or if your collection name is wrong, or if you're trying to retrieve or access an element which is not there in the iterator class, I am not able to access, then it will throw a null pointer exception. Clear? So these are the 4 methods of your iterator. So coming here to the example of your iterator. Now here they have taken an example of array list. Now array list is of string data type. The identifier or the variable name is list. It is creating a new array list. Now let's just try to add some elements. So A, B, C, D has been added. Now look at the way iterator has been used here. So iterator, now iterator is a what data type? It is string data type. Then I create the iterator. Again, this is a variable name. So iterator, string iterator, it is going to iterate what? It has to iterate the method on the list class. So on what collection? You might have a number of collections in your program. You might have a linked list, you might have a hash map, you might have a tree set. So you want to apply that iterator on what collection? So that you need. So the method has to be called on the collection. So what is the object of the collection? List. So list iterator. So iterator will work on the list iterator. So all the elements of the list are included in the iterator. Now I have to execute or run through the iterator. So my object is iterator here, and on this object I need to call the method hasNext. Now what does hasNext does? It tries to iterate till there are elements in the iterator class. So now we are not working on the collection, we are on the iterator. Why? Because in our iteration, the collection is already applied the iterator. So till there are 4 elements in this particular hasNext. So hasNext will work till it comes to the D. So this is returning true, your while condition will exit. Now I want to display each and every element. So with the next method returns the element in the collection. So I call the method next on my iterator object. So system.print iterator.next. So it will run through the loop and it will print it till hasNext. Yes, there is element in the list iterator. Yes, A. So what it is next? So it will print A. Then again there are elements. Yes. So what it is? B. Then there are elements. Yes. What it is? Print C. hasNext there are elements. Yes. What it is? Print D. hasNext there are elements, there are no elements, this returns false, the while condition is false, and the iterator comes out and your output is this. Clear with this? The method hasNext and next. So when you do the practically, maybe you have practicals from today, it is going to start. So whenever is your batch timings, just try to work on this iterator. Fine. Then we come to the next interface, which is called as the list iterator interface. So how does the list iterator interface work? Now again, list iterator is a will implement the iterator interface. So it is inheriting the iterator class. So list iterator interface of Java collection framework provides the functionality to access the element of the list. Now what is the difference between iterator and list iterator? We have already seen iterator. So list iterator is also going to retrieve to my framework, to my collection. So the basic difference between iterator and list iterator. Now if you look at the iterator, it is just going next. So suppose I am at the Cth element and I want to go back and print the B. So there is no method in iterator which is going to take me back. So if I want to work with bidirectional, that means I want to move forward. So I want has next, it is going to print. If I say next, it is going to print me the next element. But if I want to come back, let's say previous, then there is no method in iterator. So in that case, I use the list iterator. So when you want to iterate the elements in both the directions of the collection or the list, I use the bidirectional. This is the list iterator. And list iterator, basically it is going to extend your iterator class or the interface, right? So list interface will have all the methods of the iterator, and it will have additional methods of the list iterator. So what are the methods of list iterator now? Now, as we have seen, because it is implementing, it is extending the list iterator, it is extending the iterator, it will have has next and next method. Along with that, it will have some methods of list iterator. So what is that? Next index. So it will return the index of the element that the next method will return. So if you want to just print the index number, or if you want to go into the next index, we have the method next index. Now we have the next method which returns the next element. Similarly, we will have the previous method which is going to return the previous element from the cursor. So if while iterating you have come till the 29th element, you want to go previous, you have previous, it will go to the 28th. If you say next, it will go to the 38th. And similar way, you have the previous index which returns the index of the element. And then remove will remove either the next or the previous. So remove method is the same like iterator. So if you are on the 28th method, 28th element, if you say remove, it will remove the 28th. If you are in the 31st, it will remove. So wherever your iterator, your previous or next method, you have come in, so remove will return the element which has been either retrieved by the next or the previous. Now set, I can even modify my element. Let's say I go on till the next or the previous, and wherever my cursor is, I can replace the element which is returned by either the next or the previous. So I can set my parameters at runtime also by using the list iterator method. So these are the 7 methods of your list iterator. Your iterator had 4 methods: has next, next, remove, and for each remaining, your methods of list iterator will be has next, next, next index, previous, previous index, remove, and set. So look at the example of the list iterator. So here we have imported the packages ArrayList and literator. You can do it in one single line: import java.util and start. So both the packages will be included. And then we are calling the class main. We are calling the main method here. We have created an array list which is of integer data type. Of now array list the name is numbers. It is a new array list. I've added some numbers 1, 3, and 2, and then I'm trying to print it. So the output will be 1, 3, and 2. Now we are going to use a list iterator. While we going to print next, we are going to print the previous. So then we call the list iterator. Now list iterator again is of integer data type. This is the name of the iterator. So this name you can give any name. This is just a variable name which you are giving. So list iterator, integer type iterator. Now we are calling the list iterator method on what collection? On my numbers collection. So numbers dot list iterator. The same way which we try to use for iterator, but instead here is the list iterator class. Now this list iterator is the class, iterator is the variable name which you have given, and list iterator is a method which we are going to call on the collection numbers. Clear with this slide? So we are creating an instance of list. Now we call the next method. So here I am calling the next method which has to be displayed. So I need a variable which is going to store that number. So int number 1. So what is number 1? It is going to print it by the next method. So iterator next. And I say print next element is number 1. So now every time next element is going to change when I use the list iterator. Now using the next index, I'm calling the iterator next index. It is going to print the next. Then using the has next, So is there any element? It is going to print has next. So if has next, it returns true. If there is element, else it is going to return false. So these are the three methods which we have used. And this is going to be the output. So when I say array list numbers, it is going to print 1, 3, 2. And when I say next element, what is the next element in your number? The next element is 1. Then what is the next index? The next index, the position of the next element is 1. And are there any elements in the has next? Yes, there are elements in the has next. So if you try to iterate it with the iterator, and if you try to call this element, so every time the element is going to change. Then next time it will be 3, the index number will be 2. Next time it will be 2, index number will be 3. And if it prints the last number, iterator has next element, it is going to return false here. Clear with this? So look at the example, and this is going to be the output. Anyways, I'll be sharing this recording as well as this PowerPoint with you in the classroom, so you can work on this. So this we complete with the list iterator. The next is your enumeration interface. Now what happens in enumeration interface? Now enumeration interface is basically when you have already done in C programming, you create the enumeration and then you go on enumerating. You have done the program of printing the days, Sunday, Monday, so on. So enumeration interface for theory purpose, you have try to understand, because you might get a question or a 1-line or a 2-line question on enumerator interface, but practically it has become absolute as we use the iteration class. So look at this. Enumeration interface defines a method with which we try to enumerate, or basically try to print one object or one element at a time. We are going to print one element at a time, and the elements which are there stored in the collection objects. Right, so I use the enumerator. I think we have seen that when we try to do the practical online with the compiler, we have seen the enumerator E, and then you say new enumerator, and then you are going to use the iterator class. So same way I can use the enumerator here. Now this legacy interface has been superseded by iterator. So even if it is deprecated, it is considered absolute for a new code. So enumerator is not used in the practical and in the industry now, because they have come up with iterator and the latest methods of iterator and the list iterator. But for your theory purpose, you have the enumeration class and in the enumeration method. So enumeration method is a method of Java collection which is used to get the enumeration over the specified collection. So how do you declare the enumeration method? You first write the enumeration. Here the spelling of enumeration is not correct. You need to check it out. So enumeration, and then you call the enumeration collection. So this is the syntax for this. So this question only will come in the theory or in the practical, but when you want in the industry, you might not use the enumeration. And these are the methods on the enumeration class. Now, if as we have iterator, we check has next. So it returned us true if elements exist. So similar, you have Boolean has more elements. So this will be implemented till it returns true. If there are still more elements to be extracted, it will return true. If there are no more elements which has to be extracted, then this particular method is going to return false. So the eliminator will return false, and then there are no more elements. So you know that the collection has come to the end. So Boolean has more. Now we had the next method in the iterator. Similar method we have here as next element. So what does the next element do? It returns and prints the element. So similarly here it returns the element, that means the object. So next element is similar like your next method. So has next, has more elements, next element. So this is a generic object. So these are the two methods in your enumeration class. Now look at the example of your enumeration class. Here you are going to import. Now they have, now this was the example taken from tutorial point. So they have imported the package here. You can import the util package first. Import java.util, put star. So all the comparator, iterator, collection, list, set, everything will be included in this particular star. Then you create a collections demo. You call the main method. Then you create a list. We are creating an array list of objects. So list, array list, you are creating a new array list. Now we are going to populate the list. We are going to add the elements in the list A, B, and C. So my list is now populated with 3 elements. Now we are going to create the enumeration. So for enumeration, we have seen enumerator, enumeration class, create an object of it, E, and what is it on? Collection. So here it is calling me on the collections, or you can simply write your array list here, right? Sorry, collections, and then you call the enumeration method. Now this enumeration is a class, enumeration is the method. Now enumeration method has to be called on what? So you have to pass the collection. Now look at the difference. When we are calling the iterator, we call the iterator, we call the variable name, and we call that iterator on the name of the collection. But here in enumeration, you are calling it on the collection. So this word is going to be the same. This is a keyword. So collections. And then in the method, you are going to pass the parameter, which is the name of your collection. So the name of your collection is array list. And then it is going to have the enumeration on the E. Clear with this line? So enumeration class, object is E. It is calling on the collections and calling the method enumeration on the collections class, and it has to enumerate what? So the name of the collections in array list. So now everything whatever is there in the array list is now in your E variable, and now you are going to print the enumeration. So how you are going to print? You have to check whether there are elements. So you have to call on the object E dot has more elements. So till there are more elements, it is going to run through the enumerator, and then you have to print each and every element. So what is the method for that? Next element. So you have to call the next element on the object of it. So E. So system.out.print value is E dot next element, and then it will run through this till there are elements. It will go on printing. Then close all the braces. Now compile it. So print the enumeration has more elements. It will check it till elements in what? E. What is there in E? Array list. Array list on enumeration. What is in array list? A. So it will print value is A. Now again it will check. Are there elements in array list? Yes. Then it has to print the next element. It puts value is B. Again it goes. There are elements. Yes. It will print E dot C. Then again it comes here. Has more elements? No. The array list is empty now. So it returns false and it comes out of the loop. And this is your output. Clear with the enumeration? So this way you can run through the enumeration class by using the enumeration on the array list and calling the method has more list and E next element. Clear? So with this we stop with the enumeration. So these are the additional 4 interfaces which we have to do apart from the collections, and these are the references which we have used for this, the comparator interface, and so on.